Sometimes you think, oh boy, you're retired. What am I going to do with all my time? And so you get the house all nice and clean. Everything's all clean. And then, you're on a coffee farm. So, of course, clean is going to be a challenge with 2 dogs. But then your worker comes up to get something to drink, and then they trail mud through your house. Now, I've went ahead and cleaned most of it up, but I'm like, could it not just stay clean for 2 minutes? So no, you're not gonna be sitting there with time on your hands. So think about that. That's one thing people do notice when they move to Costa Rica. That is a common theme. They're like, but how is it that I can clean my house? Let me turn. How can I clean my house in the US and it stays clean, but then why does it stay dirty in Costa Rica? You got your 2 dogs, your dog, and it's a volcano that's erupting all the time, not too far away. And there's wind forecasts right now. There's lots of trees. So you gotta deal with wind, the trees, and if you have someone painting for you, oh my gosh, the paint will be everywhere. You're like, did they do that? You're gonna have to have lots of patience, because that's what happens. So just keep your little handy vacuum and clean up. Those floors were polished and clean. I mean, besides the fact that here the floor was all washed and the dog, I don't know, vomited on the floor. And so, yeah, any illusion that you might have that you're going to have a ton of free time on your hands depends on where you live, right? But yeah, there's all kinds of things that do kind of happen. So you'll spend a lot of time cleaning, re-cleaning. That's kind of like the storyline. That's the storyline here. But, at least you got a nice view while you're at it, right? And you can enjoy the sunshine. And again, patience. Lots and lots and lots and lots of patience. So if you have to have something painted, don't worry about a drop cloth because it's not going to be used. Or preparation, taping off, tampoco. It's not going to be used. So those are just some of those little moments, those little things. So just be patient, when maybe the repair guy has to come in, or the cable guy, or the phone guy, or whatever, sometimes they do brush their feet off, if you have a mat. They're generally pretty good about that. But there are the times, like today, it's so nice that everything was clean, and so I just pull out the little vacuum, and I already did downstairs, and so I'll vacuum here real quick. It takes 5 minutes. So 5 minutes to maintain your peace and protect your peace. Protect your peace, don't worry. When we're so accustomed to just expect, well, they should know, or how come they didn't, or just leave that. uh, Tell me, I've been working on that for 21 years, all right? 21 years working on the same question. So, giving you a head start. Just protect your peace. Just don't worry. It's takes only a few minutes, and when you're the paint is it's just all over. When it's all over, and you're like, well, couldn't they just have wiped that off? It's just that's kind of like a question. You're like, why am I asking that question? It's just. I'll show you an example of the paint. Let's see, how is that? Well, let's just real quick here. Okay, just. It's just, here it is on the glass. So it's just save yourself the exhaustion. So those are just little things, that is very common. You can't lay down rules. You could just forget it. Just come through with your little whatever and clean off the paint yourself. Come through with a broom, clean it up yourself. That's part of the process, okay? Little things like that. Very, very common. I'm Sandra, and this was just a coffee picking minute. Hold on, a coffee picking minute.